Oh god, my foot has slept. Have I ever read a sci-fi before? I swear to god, November's gone by so fast. And I was supposed to... Oops. It's the book one in... I can't talk. Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's time to pick our reads for December, and I'm going to be using my trusty TBR jar to be doing that as usual. November has gone by so fast. I swear to god, like I feel like October was so stretched. However, November it was like a touch and go for November. I had a lot of work. I wasn't able to read as much. When I'm filming this, I think we still have a few days to go in November. So I'm going to really try and finish as much of my TBR that I can. But having said that, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish the entire thing. We have a lot left, not gonna lie. I did end up reading Alchemist though, which was a big book and it did take a lot of time. However, I'm glad I got that out of the way. Reviews on that will come soon. But today's video is gonna be about choosing my TBR for the month of December. I will have a lot of time in December to read, so I'm very excited about that. There are a couple of new releases coming out, which I don't think I will be able to read because it's a series, so I haven't read the first part of a lot of them. We have a lot to cover. It's also holiday season, so I'm really in the mood to read a lot of cute romance books and holiday romances, and I have a whole other video planned for that, so we're going to come to that later. But for now, I'm going to be using my TBR jar to pick 6 prompts as usual to pick out the books that I want to read and try to eliminate some books from my growing TBR pile. I swear to god, right now I think I have more unread books than read books on my bookshelf, and it's really bothering me. So I'm really hoping I'll be able to take some of them off this list. But yeah, having said that, it's time to pick our first prompt. Okay, I just hope I get good ones. Okay, so the first prompt is genre you've never read. Oh my god, why? Okay. Genre I've never read. That's a tough one. I'm trying to see whether I have something over here. I mostly own fantasies, romantasies, dark romance. Okay, let me also check my Kindle TBR because I have a lot of books on that as well. Have I ever read a sci-fi before? I'm sure I must have. I think the genre that I haven't read, or I haven't read in a really long time, and when I say a really long time, I mean like years and years. I don't think I've picked up a sci-fi book in ages, and I don't even remember reading the last one. I don't even think if I've read one. So I think that's the genre we're gonna be going with, and from that I have the perfect book for this prompt. And I've been meaning to read this book, I think, this entire year. Like I bought it in the beginning of this year, so I think it's high time I read it before the year ends. And this one is called Red Rising by Pierce Brown. The amount of things I've heard about this book is actually insane. I know a lot of people have loved this entire series. I think the original series is a 3-book series and they've added more books onto that. But I think I'm going to focus on this book for this month. I don't know if I'll be able to get through the entire series, but I definitely will read this one. I think it's a sign, definitely. A lot of people have given this a 5-star, and for them this is like a god tier series. Okay, let me read the blurb. The Earth is dying. Darrow is a Red, a miner in the interior of Mars. His mission is to extract enough precious elements to one day tame the surface of the planet and allow humans to live on it. The Reds are humanity's last hope, or so it appears until the day Darrow discovers it's all a lie. That Mars has been habitable and inhabited for generations by a class of people calling themselves the Golds, a class of people who look down at Darrow and his fellows as slave labor to be exploited and worked to death without a second thought. Until the day Darrow, with the help of a mysterious group of rebels, disguises himself as a Gold and infiltrates their command school, intent on taking down his oppressors from the inside. But the command school is a battlefield and Darrow isn't the only student with an agenda. Okay. Sounds pretty interesting. So yeah, I think that was pretty easy. Okay, that didn't take much time at all. So we're gonna pick our second prompt, and it better be a good prompt. Swear to God, I'm done with these stupid, dumb prompts. I want to read a nice book now. I want to read a nice fantasy, like a high fantasy. Okay, we got 2. Please be a good one. That's such a cute prompt. Buy one off your wish list. Okay. I have a lot on my wish list, so this could take a while. Let me go to my Amazon wish list. Okay, we have a couple of options here. I've been meaning to buy this book called If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. I've heard so many things about this book. So many people have given this a 5 stars and I was so intrigued. The cover looks so pretty. It's such a fall-coded book. And I think it's the perfect time to read something like this. Let me see if Goodreads has anything on this. Okay, let me read the description. If it Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. My new next door neighbor seems to have everything figured out. Small town golden boy? Check. Single dad extraordinaire? Check. Hot baker forearms? I didn't notice them, I swear. I, on the other hand, don't at all have anything figured out. Trust me, I didn't think taking over my mom's dream bed and breakfast in Copper Run, Vermont was going to be easy. It should be a good place to heal after my divorce, but apparently my scones belong in the garbage with my small talk skills. As pointed out by none other than Cliff is inescapable. He knows exactly what people need always. His charm, the way he wears flannel, and even his pastries make not wanting to be friends with Cliff and his daughters pretty hard. Friends? I can make friends. That's safe, except I'm leaving in 3 months to pass the inn off to my little sister and get the promotion in Seattle I've been working towards. So ask me why I'm thinking about kissing my hot neighbor. Cute! I don't think I've seen people rating this less than 4 stars. So I think this should be a good pick. This can be one pick. Okay, so that was one option. This is a little tough because I have at least 1,000 books on my wish list. Another one I've been meaning to buy, especially for the holiday season, has been this book by B.K. Borison. I have never read any of her books, but there's this one called Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. I think it says it's a 4-part series. So 4 books in the Love Light series: Love Light Farms, In the Weeds, Mixed Signals, and Business Casual. Love Light Farms is the first book, and each subsequent book focuses on a different couple. Perfect. So since I've been meaning to read more holiday books, I think this is another option. Let me just read the back. Love Light Farms is a wholesome rom-com featuring a handsome freckled data analyst, a messy optimistic Christmas tree farm owner, and a small town with the best hazelnut lattes on the East Coast. This sweet and steamy romance is a holiday happily ever after for fans of Tessa Bailey and Hannah Grace. I love Hannah Grace. From TikTok favorite author B.K. Borison. In an effort to save the Christmas tree farm she's loved since she was a child, Stella enters a contest with Insta-famous influencer Evelyn St. James. With the added publicity and the huge cash prize, she might just be able to save the farm from its financial woes. There's just one problem. To make the farm seem like a romantic destination for the holidays, she's lied on the application and said that she owns Love Light Farms with her boyfriend. Only there is no boyfriend. Again, where this is going. Enter best friend Luca Peters. He just came home for some hot chocolate and somehow got a farm and a serious relationship in the process. Love Light Farms is the first book in a seasonally inspired quartet of cozy romances following 4 friends finding love in the small town of Inglewild. Cute! Okay, this can also be one. I have one more option which I anyway will be reading before the year is over, and that's The Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole. I did read the Book of Azrael in the beginning of this month, and I loved it. It was so good. It was everything that I wanted and expected from that book. So I'm definitely very excited pick book number 2, but I don't have it with me physically. So I think this can also be a good option for this prompt. This is the part 2 in the Gods and Monsters series, which is supposed to be a 7-part series, which is a little bit intimidating, but I'm definitely excited. Should I be reading the description, because this is gonna have spoilers, so I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. Okay, I don't think I'm going to read the description, because since this is second book and a lot of you may not have read the first one, so I don't want to unintentionally spoil anything for anyone. However, I will say this, that I loved book 1. It had everything that I love in a book. It was a nice romantasy, it was fast-paced, enemies to lovers, and it had a unique world. There were so many nice aspects to it, and I've been waiting to read book number 2. It also features a very badass female main character, and I love that. If you know me, you know I love books with strong female leads, and I feel that is very, very empowering, and I just love reading about it. I think between these 3 options, I think I'm going to pick up the second book in the Gods and Monsters series, which is The Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole. Since I anyway have to read it before 2025 ends, I think that is good and wise decision to make. I don't want to unnecessarily buy books and then decorate my shelves with them without reading them for the next 5 years. So I think I'm gonna buy that one, and I'm just gonna place the order also for that one. So we're done with 2 prompts out of the 6 from my TBR jar, and it's time to pick the third one. I think I need to update this with more prompts also. I'll probably do that before the next month. Can you see it? A Kindle Unlimited book. Cute! I think this one's gonna be very easy. I have a lot of options. The first option that I have is this book called Heavy. It's by M.L. Burns. And I was supposed to... Oops. Sorry, I'm being very clumsy right now. I was supposed to be picking this up last month. However, let's not talk about that, because I had barely any time to read last month. Okay, this series is called The Neighbors of Sapphire Valley. And I think this is book 1. Book description. Callista. Everyone has a past, but mine is a storm that never stops chasing me. When my life goes up in flames by my own doing, I'm left with an impossible choice. Lose everything I've built or hide out in a remote cabin with a killer. My plan is to rebuild the vacation home where my family once spent summers, hoping it will distract me from the chaos. But there's one major complication. My roommate is way too hot. And who is this too hot roommate? My damn step-uncle. He's a convicted murderer with a history as dark as my own, and maybe this cabin isn't the only thing I'm desperate to repair. Ronan. 15 years behind bars, and freedom tastes no sweeter than my old concrete cell. I figured I'd drink myself into an early grave or wind up back in prison. Then my little step niece showed up, begging to stay at the place my brother let me live in. Okay, she's fixing up the cabin, but I can see it in her eyes that I'm also on the plans for repairs. But I don't need fixing. I'm not broken, just forgotten. She's a beautiful fighter with secrets she's not ready to share. But she's in a cage with a lion that's been starved too long. And now that I'm free, I've got an appetite that would only be satiated by her. Okay, I don't think I'm really interested in this one. I don't know. I'm confused. Okay, we'll just see what other options there are. Oh, I also have this book. I think this book is called Riftborn. It's the book 1 in... I can't talk. It's book 1 in the Esprithian trilogy, and I've been meaning to read this for so long again. It's by 2 authors, Bree Greenwich and Parker Lennox. The description says, a part of the Sundered Realms extended universe, he was striking in a cold-blooded kind of way, like his beauty was tinged with poison. Unassuming, alluring even. I brought my eyes up to meet his, Fia Riftborn. The words dripped from his lips like a blood from a dagger. 20 years after a rebellion branded her an outcast, Fia Riftborn navigates a city rife with prejudice so deep it's often deadly. But she harbors a secret, one that would paint an even larger target on her back. A hidden power within her is growing, is threatening to destroy everything she's built for herself. Enter the elusive Say hi to Coco, everyone. Thank you, Cokes. Enter the elusive Sith General Larrick Ashford, who is building a unit of powerful wielders within the Guard to face a growing threat. Wraiths of darkness devour the western border, leaving a trail of death and destruction in their wake. When Fia's power erupts and 2 daughters of nobility are seemingly dead, General Ashford offers her a chilling choice: join the Sith Guard or face execution. Because Fia might be the only hope for the Isle's survival. Torn between surrendering to the chaos or becoming a weapon for those who took everything from her, Fia must confront her growing feelings for the general and face a dark truth that could shatter everything she's ever known. Okay, this sounds much more promising. I like this one. I think we're gonna go with this pick for the third prompt, which is a Kindle Unlimited book, since this is on my TBR for 2025 already. So, and hopefully I'm able to get through this. I think this is a big book. What is it? The part 2 is also out. It's called Dustbound. And I think there's a third part which is called Realm Blade, which is expected in 2026, which is great. I'm going to try and finish the 2 books before that. And there's also a book, I think by the same authors, called The Ascended, which I've heard that you're supposed to read after reading Riftborn and Dustbound, because I think there are a lot of like intermingling. I'm not too sure, but regardless, we're going to start with Riftborn first. It's not too bad. It's about 428 pages, which is nothing. If we can get through Alchemized, we can read anything. I love the confidence in my skills. I mean, Alchemized was over 1,000 pages, and it did take me a while to read. It's such a complex read, and I swear I was sitting with a dictionary, literally, because there were just too many things. So it was definitely not a fast read for me. I really took my time with that book because I really wanted to like just get into the whole book and really absorb as much as I could from that. But I think 428 pages won't be too bad. Okay, there it is. That's our third pick for this video, and that's Riftborn by Bree Greenwich and Parker Lennox. Oh god, my foot has slept. I don't know why this always happens to me. It's slowly getting way colder in Delhi, and I don't like the cold. I am a very warm, cozy person, and I like cozy things. Okay, so done with 3 prompts. Now it's time for the 4th. Let me just shake this around. I don't know if you can see much, but the prompt is free choice. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I needed. Okay, now I have a lot of options. Free choice. There's this book I've been meaning to read, and it's Diebound by Sable Sorensen. This has been a long time coming. I picked this up last month. No, I picked this up in October. So, I think this one used to be on Kindle Unlimited, but they've sort of taken it out, and I have heard great things. Let me read the back. Only the worthy survive the bonding trials. She'll risk her life and her heart to be one of them. Meryn Cooper has always hated the bonded, elite warriors who form mental links with the massive vicious direwolves they ride. Interesting. The bonded live in luxury while Meryn struggles to keep her family out of poverty. When her little sister Selah is kidnapped, stolen across the border by the immortal monsters her country has spent centuries fighting, Meryn's world falls apart. Desperate to cross the front and save her sister, Meryn enlists in the army and is thrown into the deadly bonding trials where any mistake will cost her life. Now Meryn must survive 4 months of training at the castle. She is bound to a feral direwolf who refuses to communicate. The other trainees would love to spill her common blood, and her cold and beautiful instructor, Stark Therion, is eager to punish any weakness. Everything is a competition, and everyone is out to get her. Everyone except the dangerously handsome crown prince, whose attention adds another target to her back. In the castle, every smile hides a knife, and the halls hide dark secrets. It's bond or bleed, duel or die. Failure is ruin. Cute! This is just my type of a pick. I think I'm gonna pick this one up. Let me just have one final look. I'm doing another video. I think it'll be my 10 before the end, like the 10 books I want to definitely read before 2025 gets over, and this is definitely on that list too, so I think that'll be a good pick. Okay, yeah, so this is gonna be my pick for the prompt. I mean, I got a free choice, so very, very excited. This is also such a pretty book. Look at the cover. Very pretty. And I think part 2 of this book comes out next year. I'm not too sure, so it's good that we should get this out of the way, because lately I've just not been able to catch up with any new releases. Yeah, Fury Bound. I think Wolves of Ruin is the name of the series, and Fury Bound is the second book in the series, and it's expected on 5th of May 26. So I think I'll definitely read this one for this prompt. Okay, that was a very easy and quick pick. I think I just knew what I wanted to read. I'm really in the mood for like a nice romantasy, high stakes, fast-paced romantasy. Okay. Time for our 5th prompt to pick from the jar. And oh, I got 2 again. Oh, I got 3. Sorry. Okay, that's a big prompt. Okay, first book you see when you open Instagram. Okay, that's a little scary. Okay, let me just shut the app first. And I don't even know how this is gonna work. Okay, ready? Opening. There's no book. No book. First book I've seen is the Twisted series, which I've already read. Again, no book. Then I saw Onyx Storm, which I've already read. Come on. Onyx Storm again. Where are the books? Okay, Saving Six, which I've already read. We've got Hollow. I was technically supposed to read this in November, but I don't see that happening genuinely. So I think that's my pick for next month. I know I had already picked this for last month's TBR, but as I said, I was extremely busy and I barely got time to read, and I think Alchemist just took a lot out of me and I needed a few days to process that book. So I think I'm gonna pick Hollow for this prompt. First book you see when you open Instagram. This is Hollow by the Twisted Sisters. I've spoken about this a lot in a lot of my videos. They're the same authors who wrote Zodiac Academy, and I love that series. I think I've already spoken a lot about this book, so I'm not going to waste time talking about it more. This is going to be our 5th pick. Okay, time for our last and final prompt for this video. This is actually the last prompt that I will be picking for 2025. I cannot believe where the year has gone, genuinely. Okay. What are these long prompts that I'm getting? A book you think you'll binge read. Cute. I have a lot of books I think I'll binge read. This is a bit of a tough prompt because I don't know what book I think I'm gonna binge read, and only one book is coming to mind, and I have to finish it before 25 ends because part 2 recently came out and I am feeling left out because the entirety of my Instagram feed is literally Brimstone by Callie Hart. So I think I'm gonna love it. So I think I'm gonna pick up Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I was supposed to pick this up in November again, but of course, as I said, I didn't have any time. So I think this is gonna be our pick for this prompt, which is a book you think you'll binge read. Let me just read the description. Ceres Fane is good at keeping secrets. I think I've done this in the last video, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it again. No one knows about the power she possesses or the fact that she's been stealing from the undying queen's reservoirs for as long as she can remember. The secret is like a knot. Sooner or later, it is bound to come undone. When Ceres comes face to face with death himself, she inadvertently reopens the gateway between realms and is transported to Velia, the land of ice and snow. The Fae have always been the stuff of myth, of legend, of nightmares, but it turns out they're real, and Ceres has landed in the center of a centuries-long conflict that might just get her killed. The first of her kind to enter Velia in over 1,000 years, Ceres mistakenly binds herself to Kingfisher, handsome Fae warrior with an agenda of his own. He will use her powers to protect his people, no matter what it costs him or her. Death has a name. It is Kingfisher of the I remember I had trouble pronouncing this name then also, Gate. His past is murky, his attitude stinks, and he's the only way Ceres is going to make it home. So I don't think I'm going to use too much of my brain, and I'm just going to pick this for this prompt. As I said, book 2, which is Brimstone by Callie Hart, released in November, and I've been seeing it everywhere. And I think before I spoil it for myself, I should just pick this up, read it, and pick up Brimstone and read it too. We're going to try to be ambitious in December and try and read much more than a normal month, because I do have a lot of free time in December. Also, I think my reading goal for this year was 70 books, and we're pretty close. Right now we're standing at 56 books out of 70, so I have 14 books left. I still have a few days in November left, so I'm hoping to read about 3 more books in November. I'm being very ambitious, but I do have some time, so I think I'm going to be able to finish those 3, and if that happens, then I would be done with 59, and then I would need to read 11 books to hit my goal of 70 for the entire year. I'm not going to force myself, obviously, because there's no point in, me rushing through the books. I want to really just enjoy, take them in, and but as I said, I do have some time in December, and I'm definitely going to be trying to read much more than usual. I also want to read some holiday romances, as I said. I have a video planned for that, which I'm going to be doing. So I think those will be shorter, quicker reads. So I think I will be able to reach my goal. Who knows? Let's see. Let's find out. Okay, so just as a recap, I picked 6 prompts from my TBR jar, through which I picked, oh my god, every time, through which I picked 6 books for the month of December. I'm very, very excited about this month, and I have a lot of reading to do, so I'm very excited about all the free time I have, because I'm only going to spend it reading. So let me just quickly recap the prompts. The first prompt that I got was genre you've never read, and for that I picked a sci-fi, because I don't think I've ever read a sci-fi, and even if I had, I think it's way, way earlier, where I don't even remember which book I read. So we're going to be picking up Red Rising by Pierce Brown for that prompt. The second prompt that I got was buy one off your wish list, and for that I have picked the second book in the Gods and Monsters series called Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole. I read the first book in November, as I said, and I'm very, very excited to continue the series. The third prompt that I picked from the jar was a Kindle Unlimited book, and for this prompt I have picked, what have I picked? Oh yeah, for this prompt I have picked Riftborn by Bree Greenwich and Park Lennox. Very excited about that series as well, so I'm hoping I'm able to read it this month. I mean, I have to read it this month, I don't have an option, okay? Fourth prompt that I picked from the TBR jar was Free Choice, which is the best prompt that you can ever pick. For that I picked Diabound by Sable Sorensen. This has been on my TBR for a very, very long time, and I'm excited to tick it off. So the fifth prompt that I picked was first book you see when you open Instagram. I picked Hollow by the Twisted Sisters for that. It was supposed to be read in November. It was part of my TBR jar prompts for the month of November, but unfortunately I couldn't read it, as I said. So I'm going to be definitely reading it in December. And the last prompt that I picked for the month of December was a book you think you'll binge read. Also, this is the last prompt of 2025. A book I think I'll binge read. From that, I have picked Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Ouch, I just hit myself. Quicksilver by Callie Hart. very excited. I'm actually very excited for this entire month. I have a lot of reading to catch up on. I have a lot of reading to do. I will also be doing Bookmas this year, so I'm very excited, and I have a lot of planning to do for that, which I've already started. Usually Bookmas, I think people do in the first 12 days of December, but since that gets quite hectic, I think I'm going to be doing it every other day. So I'll probably divide those 12 days up every second day. So I'll start on the 1st and then 3rd and then 5th. So I'm going to skip a day and try and post my Bookmas videos. I'm really hoping that goes to plan. We'll see how that works out, but I'm definitely super excited to be doing that. So I have a lot of content lined up for you guys, and I'm very excited, and I'm hoping you guys love it too. And with that, we conclude this video. I'll see you guys next time.